Every morning, you casually grab a slice of toast, or maybe boil a steaming bowl of noodles late at night, but you've probably never stopped to think about the massive, precise, and oddly satisfying industrial miracle hiding behind these seemingly ordinary daily carbs. Imagine how a wild grass rooted in the soil navigates an incredibly complex steel jungle to eventually become the soft, delicious bite in your mouth. Today we are taking you deep inside a mega factory to see exactly how billions of humble wheat ears undergo a mind-blowing industrial transformation. Don't go anywhere, because every frame of these massive machines running endlessly, the extreme precision of the cuts, and the almost magical physical and chemical changes you are about to see will trigger pure unadulterated satisfaction in your brain. Our epic journey begins in an endless golden wheat field. As the summer breeze rolls through the crops, harvest season officially arrives. Massive steel beasts like modern combine harvesters roar into the fields. With unbelievable efficiency, they ruthlessly devour stretches of golden wheat. Driven by a blur of complex gears and spinning drums inside, the wheat is cut and threshed in mere seconds. A waterfall of pure, plump, golden kernels pours from the harvester's high spout, endlessly filling the beds of heavy-duty trucks. However, these freshly harvested grains are far from ready for your dinner table. The wheat carry raw gifts from nature, dirt pebbles, weeds, and bits of stalks, to meet the factory's notoriously strict food safety standards. Tons of wheat are immediately dumped onto massive industrial conveyor belts upon arrival at the processing center, facing their first life or death trial. Inside the cleaning facility, heavy-duty industrial vacuums work alongside roaring, giant vibrating sieves to instantly blow away light dust and chaff into waste pipes. Next comes the truly hardcore tech. The grains are forced into a single file line and shot at high speeds through a multi-million-dollar optical sorter, equipped with incredibly sensitive, high-speed electronic eyes. This machine scans every tiny grain 360 degrees in a fraction of a second. Any moldy, shriveled, or off-color defective grains are pinpointed and blasted out of the line by high-pressure air streams from hundreds of micro-nozzles in milliseconds. Only the purest, plus scent, and most flawless premium wheat makes it to the next stage. Next is the true rebirth, the milling phase. But before suffering physical pulverization by steel, the wheat first needs a relaxing steam bath. The purified grains enter large-scale washers for a deep, high-pressure clean to remove any microscopic attachments. The wheat then rests quietly in gigantic, multi-story tempering silos for 10 to 20 hours, absorbing just the right amount of moisture. The outer bran becomes incredibly tough, while the starchy endosperm inside turns exceptionally soft. Seemingly simple physical hydration is crucial for perfectly separating the bran from the core during the upcoming violent crushing. On CE ready, the ultimate display of industrial power begins. Oceans of wheat are sucked into heavy-duty roller mills by a powerful vacuum. The core of this machine consists of countless pairs of precision-forged steel rollers spinning at high speeds in opposite directions. Like microscopic, razor-sharp teeth, they peel, scrape, and finally grind each grain layer by layer. The resulting complex mixture is blasted upwards by powerful air currents into giant PLANSIFTERs towering several stories high. It is a spectacular sight, massive square wooden boxes vibrating violently and rhythmically in midair. Driven by gravity and centrifugal force, the mixture dances back and forth across dozens of layers of varying mesh screens, being graded with extreme precision based on particle size, phenol Y, high-protein flour, low-protein flour, and the wheat bran byproduct flow down through dozens of complex transparent pipes like magic. At this moment, the flour is blindingly white and as fine as dust, surging like a white river through the factory. The truly satisfying and relaxing visual feast has just begun in the dough mixing and shaping room. Snow white flour, precisely measured purified water, and active liquid yeast are automatically pumped through mechanical pipes into an industrial mixer large enough to fit a family car following a strictly guarded golden ratio. The massive metal paddles begin a wild rotation, violently kneading, tearing, and blending the loose powder together. In just minutes, a massive, smooth, incredibly elastic dough weighing hundreds of kilograms is born. Thias behemoth slides down a stainless steel chute into giant industrial sheeters. Heavy steel rollers mercilessly flatten the dough, pressing, folding, and stretching it over and over to squeeze out every microscopic air bubble, perfecting the gluten network. The heavy dough transforms into an infinitely long, silky smooth sheet of incredibly uniform texture, racing forward on the conveyor belt. At this critical industrial crossroads, the endless dough sheet is precisely sliced by razor-sharp rotary blades. Embarking on two entirely different destinies, one sheet is cut by precision GROVD rollers into thousands of fine, uniform strands hunging in mid-air like a golden waterfall of silk. They slowly enter a massive automated drying line stretching dozens of meters. UNDR precisely controlled temperature and humidity across multiple zones. The moisture is systematically drawn out, turning the soft noodles stiff and straight, before a row of automated blades chops them in perfect unison to a standard, millimeter-perfect length, MIA/NWHIL. The other thick dough sheet is ingeniously cut, kneaded, and flipped by complex molding machines, instantly transforming into hundreds of identical dough balls. The dough balls, teeming with microscopic life, methodically enter a long climate-controlled proofing tunnel. During this slow, multi-meter journey, the yeast begins to furiously breathe and multiply. THA time-lapse lens, you would see the flat dough puffing up visibly, becoming plump, bouncy, and full of life. Then comes their ultimate trial, the industrial tunnel oven, blazing at hundreds of degrees. As the metal conveyor slowly pushes them forward, the lethal heat triggers a rapid Maillard reaction on the surface, creating a mouth-watering caramelized crust and releasing an intoxicating, rich wheat aroma. By the time they pop out the other end of the long oven, they are perfectly baked, golden brown loaves with a crispy crust and a stringy, soft interior. But we are not done yet. Before landing on your dinner table, all these flawless final products must pass the strictest factory security. FDR cooling in towering spiral CLS. The bread and dried noodles must pass through highly sensitive metal detectors and check weight GRS. The slightest flaw, even if it is 1 gram too light, or contains a microscopic speck of foreign material, triggers a piercing alarm, and the mechanical arm ruthlessly kicks it off the pristine assembly line. The perfect products that pass are immediately swept into a dazzling packaging frenzy. High-gauge speed flow wrappers and giant vacuum sealers fire on all cylinders, wrapping hundreds of packages a minute in their moisture-proof, oxygen barrier coats. Next, incredibly agile 6-axis industrial robotic arms act like tireless steel hands, precisely picking, arranging, and boxing the products, ultimately stacking them flawlessly onto pallets. Every single movement is fluid and perfectly accurate, showcasing the absolute peak of modern industrial aesthetics. As thousands of cardboard boxes filled with exquisite carbs are carried by automated guided forklifts into massive logistics warehouses, ready to be loaded into shipping containers bound for supermarkets worldwide, let us cast our eyes back to that golden wheat field swaying in the morning breeze. From a single seed carrying the earthy scent of nature, through incredibly complex physical crushing, chemical reactions, and highly automated steel assembly lines, to that soft, sweet carbohydrate-rich comfort in your hands. Thias is not just the cold roar of industrial machinery, it is the perfect symphony between cutting-edge modern technology and nature's generous bounty. Next time you sit at the table biting into that everyday bread or slurping up those smooth noodles, I hope you remember this magical journey across vast fields and awe-inspiring factories.